Unless agreed to by both tenant and landlord, the tenancy must be left in a reasonable condition and any tenant's fixtures must be removed from the premises before the tenant vacates. That's the law stated in the Residential Tenancy Act 1986. According to some Housing New Zealand authorities, the practice of the law is without exception and anyone irrespective of circumstances abides by the rule. Some tenants have accumulated much property and added fixtures on the tenancy. Simply they cannot just uplift their possessions and remove their fixtures and go in a moment's notice. Some long-term tenants have to pay substantial charges to Housing New Zealand Corporation for the removal of fixtures and tidying up the tenancy after they leave. That's understandable. But some of the tenants who are in their late years have kept their units in spectacular conditions, both internal and external. TR161, like the majority of tenants in her block of units, all have gardens. Not only they enjoy their own gardens, but also they share a community vegetable gardens among others. A garden provides a therapeutic effect in the cause of holistic health as tenants enjoy a common interest in social interaction. A unit with a garden is usually associated with home atmosphere, decent and clean throughout. A unit without a garden is usually accommodated by an isolated tenant, or one that is dependent on some addictive chemical. It seems to paint a pattern of Housing New Zealand Corporation. Housing New Zealand in fact encourages the beautification of tenancies by having gardens and community gardens, which is positively maintaining social harmony among tenants and residents. But other housing authorities, including some from Housing New Zealand Corporation, they like to exercise the law as absolute and would rather be in charge of anything that is communal among tenants. Glen Innes Housing Trust claims that a research would prove that tenants engaged in gardening are more healthy, sociable, and maintain the general cleanliness of their tenancies than those without gardens or community gardens. Those without gardens are more likely to be isolated and dependent on some form of addictive chemical. There is an economic contribution in here by prevention than expensive cure. To complete the holistic outcome, tenants must feel free and in control of what they are happy doing, in which it might not work should the landlord, whether Housing New Zealand or private, dictates the terms of social and leisure activities associated with tenancy. It is the tenant's home. Considering the accumulative pleasure and beauty tenants have contributed to the community, such as beauty sites, fresh scented air, and associated with good feelings, tenants with gardens should be rewarded and commented and not punished. A beautiful garden should be passed on to the next tenant and encouraged for the positive outcome it is having, not only to tenants themselves, but also to the wider community. Gardens have quantified their beauty in holistic pleasure that is more objective and enduring than the arbitrary law.